So today I'm going to be working on a 5x7 layout for the next big thing, YouTube Hop. And the first thing I want to mention is please go check out the other members of the Hop who are sharing their next big thing videos. I'm going to pull paper from this Recollections paper pad. It's by Michaels. And one of my 2026 goals is to use more papers from these pads. And I'm going to pull this paper that probably frustrates some people. I'm going to use one of these cut apart pages because I often find using them to be a bit frustrating. I think I have some ideas on how I'd like to use this. I got this photo from one of our cruises and the 5x7 that they often give you to go with that. So I've taken this paper and I've cut it into the 4 6x6 sections. My plan is to turn this 6x6 and this 6x6 into the mats for this photo and cover up the words. So I want to use this 5x7 is quite interesting. It's quite a bit different from doing this with a 4x6 photo. I'm going to begin with this piece flush on the left side, 2 inches up from the bottom. And this piece flush to the right and down 2 inches. The next piece I'm going to put 2 1/2 inches down from the top, but over 2 inches from the left. And the final piece, 2 1/2 inches up from the bottom and over 2 inches. And that would be my configuration. The reason I picked that is because I can now lay my photo down and cover the words. These words here can't be read. They're just swirls because they're covered up by these two papers. And our photo will cover the writing on these two. This was meant to be a journaling spot, and so there are lines on it. We will cover those lines with some embellishments. So let me get this adhered down, and then we'll see what we will do next. So I've put my photo on top of this cluster of 6x6 papers. And I really feel that the blue on top of the blue needs another layer to help it stand out. So I reached into another paper pad by Recollections, and I pulled out this gold, and I think this golden mat, this paper, will make the perfect mat to offset the photo and help it lift off the page. So I'm going to cut a mat at 7 1/4 by 5 1/4 to put this photo on. So I really like how the gold mat has lifted the photo off the page. The next thing I want to do is put a little something at the bottom, and I think at the top also, to give the page just a little more design and to allow for a place to put some decoration. So I've pulled out 3 of my favorite Creative Memories border punches. The whale tail border punch, the scallop bubbles, and the snow-capped mountains. And I've punched a row of each one. And I'm going to trim these down and layer them on top of each other to make the bottom border to go on our page. This is the final layout. I used the Decorative Waves Border Maker cartridge, cut it 1/2 inches when I was done. That made a nice frame to the bottom where I had the whale tail border punch, which I cut from the top end of the tallest tail at 1.5 inches. The scallop bubbles was the next layer down, and I cut that at 1 3/4 inches, and the bottom layer was the snow-capped mountains, which I cut at 2 inches. I had a die that spelled Bon Voyage. I had a die for the cruise ship and a die for this ticket. And the anchor and the compass are punches by Creative Memories. I hope this inspired you to look at your paper pads with these 6x6 blocks in them in a new way. I hope you'll also watch the other videos in this YouTube hop. And I hope you'll like this video, subscribe to this channel, and YouTube says there's another video that you might like. So I hope you'll watch it also.